I was just saying. Remember those videos that we used to do when we first started doing content, like driving around in the car,
Oh yeah,
going to the airport,
that was fun.
going to the river with the ducks. What happened to that? What happened to that energy we used to have?
Well, COVID, I definitely prevent us from doing that. But
That's true.
yeah. But honestly, I miss that stuff too, right? And I think that'd be really good content if we were allowed to.
Did that have an impact when we were doing those goofy videos? Like, was there a lot of views, a lot of buzz, or it was just like dying?
It's kind of
Like,
hit
was
and
it?
miss. Like
Yeah.
we got a lot of people commenting. I think a lot of people can get a source of who we are from those videos because they
Yeah.
show like the real version of us, right, and not the acting version of, if you want to say that. But it was real content. Like we actually went to the airport to
Yeah.
film, and we were getting all these eyes on us, and it was like, okay, just shake it off and
Yeah.
and to bring value. And so it's different, right? So yeah, hit or miss in views, but I think a lot of people enjoyed like getting to know us better.
You know what I would like? I would like to post those.
Yeah.
Like rotate them back into our content. You know,
Yeah.
because what's also cool is like the one at the airport, you'll see like a crowded airport, which we don't see anymore. Hopefully we will soon.
Put a disclaimer that this was filmed in
No,
2019.
no disclaimer.
Oh,
I want people to get mad. This is bull. You should be social distancing.
Yeah.
It's like 2018, man. Relax.
well, it was still really good content. Back then, the production value was a little bit lower, but I think what we talked about was really, really
Because
good.
what's also cool. I don't know if it was lower or not. I don't know if the production value was lower. I don't know. Let's start posting them.
Yeah.
Post one today. Are they on YouTube? Are they on our YouTube?
They're
channel,
on
those
YouTube, so I can
videos?
post them, and I still have
They're
the
like
raw
way,
file.
way in the back. You have to
Yeah.
scroll.
You have to go way, way down.
So can we like start rotating them? To the
course.
top just for the
Why not?
for
Yeah.
the laugh of it.
Sure.
That would be cool.
We could do like one day a week or a couple times a week. Heck yeah.
Yeah, there's some good. There were some really good videos back then. Hey, Raf? Yeah. I think you did quite a few also. Yeah, you did a lot back when Raf used to do videos. Huh? Hello?
Yeah, back then when I was not shy.
Yeah. We were really not shy. We literally went in the middle of an airport and crowded arrivals.
River.
The side of the river there was no people. But what else did we do? Oh, Dunn's. We went to the Dunn's famous smoked meat.
We
Downtown
went
Montreal.
outside the pub restaurant when it was blizzard, like that snowstorm.
Oh, yes, that's right. That
Yeah.
big snowstorm. I
Yeah.
took off my sweater or my
Yeah.
shirt. Did I
Yeah.
take off my shirt?
Not your shirt. Just your sweater.
Whew, thank God. I think I was in pretty good shape back then, though. I'm so not in shape now.
Yeah.
This COVID stuff's killing me.
Oh, same.
What else did we do? We did a video with Nick. You know, Nick says that's one of his most popular videos. Nick Capozzi, my cousin.
Oh, the first video you guys did
The
together
one
at the Peel Pub. Yeah.
Yeah, he said that's like. No, the Peel Pub is closed.
I am pretty sure. I think I saw a sign on the door.
For rent? Closed for COVID or closed?
Oh.
That would be horrible. They were so
Oh.
nice in that.
Oh, so incredible.
Yeah? Okay, we'll check it out.
I think I saw that.
We'll check it out. I walk by there almost every day anyway, so we'll check it out. That would be horrible. They were so nice in there.
Oh, it was great hospitality,
Yeah.
and we got our own kind of like floor to ourselves.
Yeah.
And brought us food, and it was a fun time.
Yeah.
It was a fun time.
And the manager, how did that? So the manager was asking when you approached him and said we wanted to do a video in there. The manager was like, "Okay, well, what do you want from me? Like, is this gonna cost me money or
Yeah,
what?"
pretty much. Like he's like, "What's the catch?" And I was like, "No, there's no catch. Like I just work up the street, and we want to showcase where we're from. Right? We have
Yeah.
a lot of our audiences in Canada and the U.S., but
Yeah.
Peel Pub on Peel Street, where we're located, is a great spot to show and have our podcast. So
Yeah.
that's pretty much what I say. We want to showcase you guys and have our podcast in your restaurant. And
That was that was fantastic, especially those intros you used to do for the videos.
They're
like with
fun.
The music and the B-roll, the B-roll footage.
oh, so I
We don't
miss
do
it.
that anymore.
Yeah, it's
Why? Is it because of COVID, or we just we just get right to the content now?
I think we definitely, it's probably a bit of both. Like, obviously, because of COVID the last year, we've been doing a lot of content over Zoom, so there's less opportunity to do fun intros. But as things start opening up, I would like to do that. I think it's really fun. It showcases, again, who we are, what kind of company we are. We're energetic, we're fun, we're lively.
Yeah,
You know,
we're
so we're real.
I think I remember that I didn't want to do any goofy videos when COVID hit. I think I remember telling you that because I felt like, you know what, it's not appropriate to be goofing around.
Well, at the time, it was really scary, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, still is. But, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. So, okay, good. So you're gonna post those. You're gonna start posting those
We're going to start today.
old videos.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll find one. I'll find
and don't even ask me to look. I know there's a couple that I hate. They're kind of dumb, but I don't care. Just post them.
You got it. You got it.
All right, all right. So what else did I wanna ask you? Okay, so now we're streaming live from my personal LinkedIn page, right? And we can also We can also stream live from Simply PHP's business page on LinkedIn.
Not at the same time.
Not at
but
the same time, but we have
correct.
the privilege, right?
Yes.
So we're lucky enough to have the privilege. Why are we sort of rotating between my page and Simply PHP's page? Can you have any thoughts behind that? I know I have an opinion why we should do it, but what is your thoughts on that?
Yeah, good question. I think we're trying to really connect with different audiences. Obviously, throughout the years, you've connected with a lot of business professionals, which is who we work with. On the Simply PHP page, we also target developers because we hire a lot of great developers, right? So
Okay, so my page, my connections, quote unquote, followers.
yes,
They're connections, right? It's the same thing. So my connections are more like C-level executives, business managers, business owners,
CTOs too.
CTOs,
But
yeah.
people who are on the executive board
C-level.
who make business decisions.
Okay. And the Simply PHP page is a lot of programmers. Like I think so there's 10,000 followers on the Simply PHP page.
Almost. We're
almost
like
10,000.
we need like 30 more.
Remind me to ask you another question about that.
Okay.
But almost 10,000. But they are, I believe last time I looked, they are primarily software developers, designers. So I guess it depends on the content
Right.
on which page we're going to stream from.
Yeah, and again, we have two different audiences that we look at, right? Is who are we working with? That is the C-level executive
who
for
we're working
mid-sized
for.
businesses,
Yeah.
and the expertise that we have. We are experts in PHP development, and we want to help the PHP community and help educate people that PHP is the best, and we believe that. And the best. And so that's the two types of content that I focus on when we're creating content. Who are we targeting? If it's a C-level, it's going to be a business conversation using web development to improve business, versus if it's a developer, maybe how they can improve in their development or best practices. So those are our two audiences, and that's why we're kind of on your page versus the Simply PHP.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, I feel the same way. I just want to make sure that I want to get your point of view. Now, Simply PHP's LinkedIn page almost has 10,000.
Almost.
How do you feel about those drives? Like, the drive to 10,000, or let's try to get 1,000 more followers this week.
Yeah.
I don't think you've ever done that. Do you feel you'll ever do that, or is it corny to say, guys, I'm driving for 10,000? Because you need 30,
Yeah.
right? You need 30 more connections.
Roughly, I think like
Yeah.
30, maybe 45. Like I know we're 900 and like something.
So
right?
9,950 or something like that.
Exactly.
Are you going to do a drive to get it over to 10,000, or are you just going to let it happen organically?
Well, I'm always striving for that mark. I've been looking at 10,000 since we hit 5,000. I've been looking at 10,000 as the next milestone. It's kind of a balance, right? Like I will do a big drive if it were getting very close. Let's say we need 15 followers, or 30 like we are now. Maybe do a specific video or make content to help us build a community, share it. But at the same time, my focus is always bring value first. And if we're bringing value to the community and they're commenting on our stuff, they're sharing our stuff, and they send us private messages sometimes or comment. So that is how at least I see a lot of success, because that's what we're trying to do with our content, right? Is bring that value. But of course, I want that 10,000.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I want the 10,000 too.
I know.
I did a post a couple of weeks ago trying to drive it up. I think it drove it up a little bit. It was good. I got a lot of my connections on LinkedIn. There's some pretty good people that are like active, liking and commenting and all of that stuff. Who was I gonna? There was another question I was gonna. Oh, how many pieces of content does Simply PHP post every day?
Great
or
question.
Every week or whatever.
So we post roughly 4 to 5 pieces of content on 7 different platforms. So
4 to 5. Okay.
So on
That's a
LinkedIn,
lot.
we'll do 5. We'll do text, audio, video, an article, and then maybe a graphic. And that's almost every day.
Every single day.
Well, Monday to Friday, I should say.
Yeah.
Weekends, we kind of slow down a bit.
I'm going to be honest with you. When you first started, or when we first started posting all this content, I remember at the beginning I would like read everything and look for mistakes and give my opinion on what you posted and everything.
Yeah.
Now it's just like I don't even pay attention anymore.
It's a lot.
Because I trust you too. That's
Well, thank
huge,
you.
right? Like the beginning, I didn't really trust you. I didn't know you. Now I trust that anything you post is gonna make sense.
I try to put a lot of thought into it, and what we're doing again is bringing value. If I believe this can bring value, I will check with developers. Like, hey, does this make sense? Because I'm not
I
a
saw
developer.
you do that before on
right?
Slack a couple times.
Right, and I want to make sure that whether we're providing humor or education or, let's say, bringing up a new best practice, I have to make sure that my facts are correct. I can't post because that's Simply PHP's reputation.
Yeah.
Right? So, yeah, there's a lot of work, and I love the team. They're always on board helping me because I'm not a developer
Yeah.
by any means, right? And so it's been really, really cool experience.
So if you're gonna post content, you're gonna post on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram,
Yep.
TikTok.
We've been getting into
Wow.
TikTok.
That's amazing.
So we're posting on virtually any platform. And then with our employees that have different accounts as well, we also interact with. So we're definitely posting in the 30 to 50 pieces of content a day if you're looking at all the platforms we post on.
Okay, but 5 or 6 pieces of original content a day go out
Yes.
on different platforms.
On different platforms. Yeah. YouTube is 1 video a day. Other than that, the rest is like 4 or 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's cool. I like these talks because that's when I get to ask you these questions.
They're good questions.
I put them on the spot sometimes. I like putting you on the spot.
I think I'm good under pressure sometimes.
You want some more water? That's great, buddy. That's great. Well, I'm looking forward. Okay, you want to? You said you wanted to ask me some questions, right?
Yeah, now it's my turn.
All right, it's your
my
turn.
turn to
All
take
right.
the host hat,
Yeah.
and I want to ask you some questions. So you guys have been in business for 11 years. That's a huge milestone.
11 years. Yeah.
And I'm sure you come across all different types of issues and challenges. Could you, because today's topic is about industry secrets, and the idea came out about talking about what problems you've seen over and over and over again from the clients you worked with, past and present. So do you have any kind of common challenges you've seen over the years with your clients?
Common challenges that I've seen over the years with clients. Yeah, I guess. Let's see. That's a good question. Common challenge. I guess.
Because I know that you've tailored our business model behind all the problems that our customers have been having. Like they can't get a hold of the resource. They can't. They don't know where their developer is because they're hiring a freelancer. They have no access. Let's say the freelancer went away.
Those are like really big problems. Okay, when you said common challenges, I wasn't sure if you meant, just kind of problems they need to be solved. But you're talking about major problems, yeah. So
key 3 challenges.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Definitely. I think the most painful one is when a business owner is not in control of their business. That's huge. That happens so often that.
What do you mean by that? Not in control of their business?
Well, a business owner will call and say, you know what, I have to let my developer go. Okay, I have to, or let one of my developers go, or let my main lead developer go. For whatever reason, they don't get along anymore, or the person is just like disappearing all the time.
Right.
But a lot of times the problem they have is that developer has the keys to the castle. You know, the developer has the access. Because for one reason or another, the developer somehow, and I'm not saying that there was malice or malicious intentions, but somehow the developer ended up opening accounts in their name.
Oh, I see.
Ended up somehow taking the master credentials away from the business owner and changing them. You know, maybe their credentials got compromised and the business owner was busy, as we tend to be. And the developer says, well, you know what, I'm going to just, you know, put it in my vault and I'll change the password. And the business owner say, okay, great, Johnny, that's awesome, you know. But then a few years down the road, when it's time to when there's a problem, then the business owner will realize that, oh man, he has everything. And sometimes it's the reason why they're calling us is because they want to change the person, they want to change developers because there's a problem. You know, maybe the developer has become problematic or rebellious. Vice versa too. I don't want to just throw the developer under the bus, but it is the business owner's business, so he or she's the one that's needs to have the access. So that is a very touchy situation that, because I've been in doing this for 11 years, I kind of know how to ask certain things of, you know, developers that are in this position of power. You know, I'll tell the business owner, I say, look, say the following to them. Say that, you know, you've hired a company to, you know, do some verifications, do some security verifications, do some type of verifications that's required because you're going into, you're trying to get some funding, some venture capital, something like that. And that's a way of getting a look and getting our people to take a look and see how we can extrapolate the business owner from this bad situation. So I think that's, and that's another reason why I always talk about it. I make those little videos, like, you know.
Of course.
Just to do a little checkup, you know, especially during the holidays. It's like, hey, you know, you're bored. Why don't you check and make sure that all the credentials are actually belonging to the business? You know? You do it when things are good. You know, things are good now. Like with you and I, things are great. So if I say, you know what, Kyler has all the credentials for our social media platforms, I'll ask you today for them. I'll say, by the way, Kyler, you want to put them in our vault, our 1Password vault? I won't wait until we're mad at each other. and furthermore, lastly, give me my credentials. And you'll say, no, screw you. And then we're in
so
trouble,
this is
right?
a common challenge that you've seen over the years.
Oh, gosh. I get it at least once a month.
Really?
And once a month is a lot.
That
Once a
is.
month, it's a lot to talk to someone who's in this situation. And and when I speak to prospects, and I always say, look, even if you don't hire us, and they appreciate this, right? So even if you don't hire us, here's a couple tips, and that's number one on the list.
That's awesome.
You know, yeah, it's number one on the list. And even when people leave us, I'll say you're leaving us for whatever reason. You know, sometimes they actually, you know, they use our services for years, or months, or weeks. And then they say, okay, you know what, I'm stable now. I'm going to hire someone in-house who's going to be in the office with me. And then I give them a little speech. And I say, whatever you do, don't let them put you in this type of situation. Make sure you keep everything in your name, you know? It's like an emergency room doctor advocating for seatbelts, you know?
Yeah.
Or an emergency room doctor saying that teenagers shouldn't ride motorcycles just because they are seeing this on a regular basis, and it's a killer. I'm not saying I'm a doctor.
You can
but
play
I play
one
on
yeah.
TV. I would love to play a doctor, but
I could see it.
yeah, me too. but it's just that's it because every month it happens and like clockwork, I'll get a call from someone that's in that situation.
So what advice would you give them if they're, let's say they're in that situation? Because we are talking to the C-level executive. We're talking to people who are making business decisions. Let's pretend I'm in that situation. Tony, what can I do? And is there any tips you can give?
Well, if I would ask questions, is your relationship with the person that is owning your credentials, is it good? If the relationship is good, then I would tell you to subscribe to a secure credential vault. Like I said, we use 1Password. I have no affiliation with 1Password whatsoever, but we've been using them for, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 years, right?
Oh, wow.
So if we've been using something for 7 or 8 years, it must be good.
Yeah.
So I would get that person, that business owner, to subscribe to one of those platforms as just company policy and say, okay, everybody, I saw a video on YouTube about this, so this is
From Tony.
this is our new policy, and no one's gonna fight it. And then you, as a business owner, are the one with the master admin or master credentials of that platform, and you invite or remove people as you see fit, and then guess what? All of a sudden you're secure. But now that's under friendly circumstances, everything's going well. But if you have to let someone go because of a problem and they're mad at you, you're mad at them,
Right.
they could be blackmailing you. I've seen
I
that
can't
as well.
believe that happens. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. Well, the blackmailing part is rare, but the uncomfortable situation,
Okay.
I'm afraid that this person's going to react badly when I let them go, which that happens, right? You fire someone and it's all of a sudden, oh yeah, you're going to fire me? Well, guess what? I have the keys to your business. I've seen that. So if you're in a unknown situation and you're not sure how the person is going to react, you're losing sleep. You're definitely losing sleep. And you're always thinking of the worst, right? I've also seen business owners, partner with us and say, okay, I got to get rid of this guy. I need you as backup. Tell me what to do. But in the end, the developer says, okay, no, that's no problem. I understand. I want to go work somewhere else too. Here's your credentials. And you're like, whew.
Yeah.
That's awesome, But you know how much sleep? You die 1,000 deaths before that day, So, yeah, if there's if there is an unpleasant situation, there's definitely ways that we can ask for things that I would take the client through. I'm not sure I would go into too much detail,
Of course.
on a video. Just
But that's some really good advice, right? Because I can only imagine, like, what if it doesn't go well with that developer when you need to let them go?
Yeah.
And they take your keys, and you don't have access to your website, to your customers, to your marketing. I mean, like your business. That's especially in today's age with COVID being all online.
Yeah.
I mean,
and it doesn't even have to be everything. The person could have access to something that is integral for your business that you asked him or her to sign up to a couple of years ago, and you were busy, and so they signed up. They used their account, they used their name, they used their credit card. That's the thing that happens. The little tiny, the shopping cart extension, that, the ERP integration, like all of those little custom extensions that some people get.
wow.
Are like spread out over
this
guy, that guy. This guy doesn't work here anymore.
Yeah.
The account was set up with his email. So if you do a password reset, it's going to go to him. He hates you. So it's it's something to do.
Yeah.
So I would say that's definitely
A key challenge.
major. Yeah.
Is there maybe one or two more key challenges you see over and over again?
Yeah, hiring the wrong people, trusting companies that don't have much of a track record, trusting companies. Oh, yeah, here's a good one or a bad one. when you hire a company that's in North America
Mm-hmm.
and you think you're dealing with them, but
Oh,
they ship your project
overseas.
overseas.
Mm.
So that's
So why
that's
is
a
that
major
challenge? Why is that a problem?
well, you know, you're hiring. Let's talk about Boston. I love Boston, right?
Who doesn't?
Yeah, I love Boston. So let's say that you're hiring a company in Boston. You're wherever you are in the States, and you're hiring a company in Boston, and you're paying Boston prices. You think you're getting Boston talent, because you know in the U.S. and Canada, there's very good companies, very good resources, and very good structure, and there's a lot of companies with very good track records. So you're hiring this company in Boston. But what you don't realize is that they are shipping your project to India. Let's use India as an example. I don't want to.
Could be anywhere, but just as an example.
You know what? Forget it. I don't want to use India. Let's say offshore. Okay. Offshore, they don't have a big track record of succeeding. I'm sorry. I don't want to. I'm just going from 11 years of experience. They don't. Okay. I'm not saying that U.S. and Canadian companies are perfect. They're not. But you have a much better chance of success when you're staying in North America. Okay? Perhaps if you were a company in India,
Overseas. Yeah.
you're there on the ground, you might have success on the ground there, you know, but so right away your project is set up for failure. That company in Boston that outsourced to India or offshore, I'm sorry, doesn't have control over those resources. All right? They don't. Completely different time zone, completely different language, and to top it all off, you're paying U.S. prices. So that company that's shipping your stuff overseas is just making a margin, right? They might be paying $10 an hour for horrible, code that doesn't even work. But you're paying them $100 an hour, you know. So those are situations that I've seen quite often as well. And the worst part about that is a lot of times companies will spend their budget. They won't get anything because don't forget they're paying in advance. They're sending money constantly. And then when they come to us, they don't have much budget left, you know. And sometimes sometimes we can help, and sometimes we can't. And it's tragic. So that's something I've been writing about for a decade. I think I've been writing about that for like a decade. I think I have an article on my LinkedIn profile. We've updated it, but I think I originally wrote it in 2011 called Web Development Bait and Switch.
Oh, okay.
So bait and switch
I remember
is, you know, you get someone, you sell them. I'm in New York, I'm in Boston, we're awesome. And then all of a sudden you sign, you send them money in advance, of course, right? We don't charge money in advance.
Really?
No, we don't. You know that.
Yeah, I do. I just like to give you the
Yeah. Thank
that
you.
bat.
Really? Yeah. So we don't charge money in advance, but you know, a lot of times they say, okay, you know, it's going to be $100,000. Send us 25, send us 30, 40, whatever. And the bait and switch, right? So then they ship it off to overseas at a fraction of the cost, and
they make a margin.
The project doesn't even get done, you know.
Yeah.
So, and unfortunately, I'm not exaggerating.
So is it a communication issue with working with an overseas client, or let's say web development company? Is it time zone? Like, is it all the above? Like,
yeah, it's all the above. You know, it's just all the above. It's communication, culture, time zone, skill level. You know, all of our developers are intermediate to senior developers. You know, you have to have a minimum of 5 years of programming experience. I don't mean in your basement as a teenager. It's a great sign, though. If you've been coding since you're like 12 years old, you're probably awesome. But we like to have people who have at least 5 years of development experience, programming experience. And our guys and gals are great. I can't hide. You know, we deliver. And if we don't deliver, we don't get paid. So we have to deliver. And that's another thing we do before we take on a new client. We get access to their code repository, and we take a look around and say, okay, if I touch this, is the house going to fall? If that's the case, we're not going to get involved. You know, we'll say, look, it's rare that happens, but it does happen. So yeah, we set ourselves up for success. But again, this is from 11 years of pain. you
Yeah.
know? We're no gurus or anything like that. We've learned from 11 years of, the company we were 11 years ago
Well,
was not like this,
yeah.
Hey, Raf, we made a lot of mistakes, I would say, in our first few years. Our first few years of doing this,
Yeah.
it was terrible, and the client was always wrong in our opinions. In our mind, we're like, clients. No, the client's not wrong. It's, Now it took us a while though. It took us a few years to realize what works, and
We've had guests on this podcast like Lincoln who shared the horror stories, right? Working with overseas and stuff. And
actually, I have to correct you. Lincoln actually had a really good experience with his Romanian team. It was a team in Romania. They were great. They were great. They were collaborative. But the problem he had was time zone was killing him. And they weren't as engaged as they were at the beginning of the project. So like they were kind of the application, it was an e-commerce application, one of the biggest in the world in his industry. And it was kind of in maintenance mode, so the big excitement was over. So like he had a hard time getting things done from them.
yeah.
And he also wasn't in control of his code, of his version control. So like if they made changes, he was basically at their mercy to wait for them to push those changes to production, and they were in a completely different time zone. So they were good, but it was time for them to come back to America. So,
But it's one of those three challenges, right? Time zone, communication, like energy, like you said, quality.
Quality is the main one.
I think the price is what probably attracts people to go overseas. But then a lot of times, as we've seen in our experience, that they come back because it just doesn't do the job.
Yeah, well, if you're a startup and you have a very limited budget, it's almost impossible to resist. I'll be honest. If you're looking at, $80 an hour compared to $9 an hour, and you're a startup
Wow.
without budget,
Of course.
it's
Yeah.
expensive to be poor. It's it's too bad, but it works. It works for some people on very rare occasions, but the thing is, sooner or later you're gonna have to come back to the U.S. or Canada. You're gonna have to get a real company. You're gonna have to get real resources, and you're gonna have to rebuild, right? So for some people, like I said, if they don't have the budget, and especially if they don't know, they're gonna go for the red pill. Was it the blue pill and the red pill? They're gonna go for the red pill.
Yeah,
Which one
I
was
think
good.
The
Matrix.
red pill was good, I think.
The red pill was
wow,
good?
Oh my God.
Raph, do you know in Matrix?
We're going to be slammed in the comments with this.
Which pill? The red.
The red
must have
pill,
been
the red pill.
bad.
Follow the rabbit hole. Take the red pill. The red pill was the get out of the matrix. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
The
so
red
the
pill.
blue pill was stay in the Matrix.
Don't.
But what
I
was
could
good?
be wrong.
Staying in the Matrix was good.
Staying in the
we wanted
Matrix
to stay in
was-
the Matrix, right? We
Staying in the
liked-
matrix was bad because you were letting the machines control you, right?
Yeah. What was that guy's name? Neo?
Morpheus.
not
Neo.
Neo.
Yes.
What's that actor's name?
Oh,
Keanu Reeves? Keanu Reeves? Okay.
yeah. Would it be destroyed in the comments?
I hope not. Hey, I'm an old guy. Give me a break.
So, industry secrets. So that's really good. We've talked
Okay.
about now two key challenges you've seen time and time again.
Yeah, so ownership of your business and make sure that if if you do hire a company, make sure that they only use their resources. We have that in our agreements.
Mm.
And our contract says we do not outsource or subcontract.
Mm-hmm.
It's in there in black and white. So
Awesome.
yeah, that's why we're awesome. I agree. How's
Yeah.
your water? You're out of water.
It's almost out. I drink a
Okay.
lot during these.
Yeah. All right. You're looking pretty bright. Is Kyler still looking bright on the screen?
I'm
You look
just.
sick. You haven't
well,
been out of the house.
I'm just pale, you know.
You haven't been out of the house for a while.
Yeah, this is my outing right now. This feels great.
This is your outing. I feel bad for you. No, I'm sure you go out and take
On weekends, of
romantic,
course.
walks with.
With Tanya, of course,
Tanya, yes.
and the family. Yeah, we do fun things on the weekend
Okay,
and stuff.
good.
Oh,
Yeah,
of course,
yeah,
of course.
You have to.
So my next question is around our process. So
process.
we've been doing this again for 11 years. Can't say that enough. We've made some mistakes in the past, but we've ironed out what we need to do to make sure our clients succeed.
Yep.
And is there can you walk us through, let's say, our process a little bit? If I'm coming, let's say I need some developers for some work. I need some staff aug. Can
Yeah.
you walk us through, because I know that's a big challenge, right? What that process is and how we help them solve this issue.
Yeah, staff aug, as we call it, staff augmentation is a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun for us, and it ends up being a lot of fun for the client because we know we can deliver in a staff aug situation. That's
So a
our
little
most
bit, if I'm
successful
coming, let's say I need some
clients are using our resources on a staff aug basis, which is, they have their leadership in their company.
Okay, so they have
So-
someone.
Yeah, so let's use an example of a CTO that is an employee of the company, and that CTO has a team of a few developers,
Okay.
and they want to augment their staff. For whatever reason, they don't want to hire full-time employees. And that's another thing. There could be many, many reasons. That's a video on its own.
Okay.
Excuse me. So what we do is we practice risk reversal, right? We also make it very, very easy for this CTO to onboard our staff. So we become an extension of his or her team. Okay, so we become an extension of the CTO's team. And you can only become an extension of someone's team if you integrate very, very well with their process. So when you hire Simply PHP, it's not like, oh, okay, well, you're going to have to use our custom ticketing system
I
that we've
see.
been developing for 11 years, and you have to fit into our process.
So do a lot of companies do that? They make the client follow their process instead of kind of following theirs?
I think so. Okay. I think it's a matter of control as well. A lot of companies do that because they want to control everything. Like you have to come into our system because we have the master control over it.
I see.
We can show or hide whatever we want. If you get mad at us and you want to fire us, we're going to hold some stuff from you.
Oh,
This
wow.
happens, man. Look, I don't want to.
Yeah. No,
I'm not
industry
mentioning-
secrets. This is what it's all about.
That's that's the thing, and it's a scary world out there,
Mm-hmm.
and it's almost like the Wild West. There's so many ways to get
Yeah.
into trouble, and that's one of them. One of them is you're augmenting your staff with this company. It's got a really slick salesman and
Hey, how are ya?
yeah, and you're good, but then you start integrating into their system, into their accounts and their code repositories and their ticketing managing system, and then all of a sudden you're tied to them, which is what they want. Right? That's what they want. So for us, we do it the opposite way. Okay, Mr. Prospective Client, you want to augment your staff? What are you using? I'm telling you now, Kyler, 95% of the time people are using Jira. Raf, could you say 95% of the web development industry is using Jira?
It's definitely increasing in the past years.
Okay, so are they the dominant player?
Yeah.
Okay, So Jira is a dominant player, Slack is a dominant player. So we integrate into their systems. We have Jira internally, which works really well for us. If a client does not have that type of structure, because that happens also,
Right.
they're not using a ticketing system. They're using whatever system they're using. We will say, hey, would you like to come onto our Jira account? You know, you'll have a client portal, you'll have client access, complete transparency. Again, they'll say, yeah, that's one of the things we want. You know, we
Yeah.
want structure. We want a company to show us the way.
Well, the thing is, we make it as frictionless as possible.
We make it as frictionless as possible because we also realize that the CTO has a big workload. And
I'm
we
sure.
don't want this CTO to associate a lot of work to transitioning to Simply PHP or using Simply PHP's resources. We don't want to create a lot of work for the CTO. So we try to make it seamless, you know, and there's a secret. That's one of our secrets. You're going behind the curtain.
Flexibility.
Well,
Seamless.
flexibility, transparency, ease of use, right? If you're gonna buy something and you say, you know what, or use someone's services, and you know, if I have to use this person's services, I got like 2 weeks of work ahead of me. That I have to put all of my stuff aside, and I got to concentrate on that. If you come with us, it might be instead of 2 weeks work, it might be a day or two that you have to spend some time and
Of course.
and that's part of it. And do we give up that leverage? Of course. We're at the mercy of our clients. They can fire us anytime they want. We can't hold anything back from them. We never do. We never hold anything back from our clients. If a client wants to transition away from us, we are completely transparent and professional. And it's like, because we hope they'll come back one day. You know?
You never know.
And it's not, yeah, exactly. It's not like, okay, well, you know what? You better give us our money first, and then I'll give you whatever. No, it's we assume that client is professional. So are we, and we don't need any leverage to hold anybody back.
That's really cool because that allows us to just do great work when we're not playing this game, you
Yeah.
know, between the client and us, where I have the access, you don't. and
Yeah.
It's a game.
Yeah.
We just produce great work, and
Yeah.
then they either stay with us or don't, right? Depending on, it's totally up to them. But we just produce great work.
Yeah, exactly. And this is the way that, you know, like, don't forget, when a prospect is calling us, we're not the only one on the block, all right? So we're not the only one that shows up in a search. There's other less qualified companies that show up, and they're going to be speaking to those other companies. So we make sure that we shine when that person goes into the boardroom and says, you know what, this is the company that's risen to the top. There's reasons why we've risen to the top. You know? And then, of course, we have to deliver. That's the most important thing. I can talk till I'm blue in the face. We can have the best system set up over 11 years of pain, all right? What's that saying? 11 years of pain built our business?
Built our business model. It
Built-
was a
okay,
video
so
that we
yeah.
did together.
So 11 years of pain built our business model. That's true. But if you don't deliver, all right, if you send a person to augment your staff and that person's not qualified, it's all for naught, because it's all about the person that's in the chair, right?
Is that why we only hire more mid to senior level developers?
That's a great question. Yes, that's why. You can't hire a junior. You know, we can't throw a junior developer into the fire. You know, we can't have this, you know, this great company with all this experience and all of these great processes set up. You know, from 11 years of pain, building this great business model, and having all of these great people surrounding them, you know, great human resource people, great account managers, great controller, great content creator. In the end, it's all about software development, right? It's all about PHP programming. So yeah, we have to make sure that we have the right people.
I was asking if there's a point where it can be worth to take a risky project.
Is it worth to take a risky project?
No, it's
Unless we can.
What's a risky? Could you maybe identify what that is?
well. I think what the person means is, well, they can mean many things, right? Risky project could mean sort of like a badly built code base that's a house of cards. If we touch something, it's all going to break.
Okay.
So the answer is it's a hard no. It's a hard no because it never ends well, right? So we can do the best we can, but if the code base is a house of cards,
Yeah.
in the end the client is not going to be happy. In the end, we're not going to be happy because we didn't deliver.
Right.
And is that person gonna see value from us? So the answer is no. But again, that's from learning, and it's hard. It's hard to say no, especially for me, because I'm not the one that's in there looking at the house of cards, and
Right.
I'm not the one that is going to be in pain if it falls down. So it's hard for me because a lot of people they're very nice people, and instinctively we want to help, but it's not worth taking a risky project. I think that's what they meant by the question, Raf.
Yep.
Okay.
Any other questions on LinkedIn? Cool.
No. So you didn't get thrown under the bus for your matrix
Oh, guess not.
lack
Well, that's
of
good.
knowledge.
Yeah, I was. I watched all those movies. I can't believe I couldn't answer.
yeah?
it. Yeah.
I don't even know if we're right. If it's the red pill. or
Could
the
be
blue
could
pill.
be completely wrong.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's awesome. So we've really touched on some key challenges that business owners, mid-sized to large companies are facing when it comes to web development.
Yeah.
You've walked us through the process.
Small business too.
Small business too.
Small business could be big.
Is there any other thing you would want to touch on that maybe I haven't asked you?
Actually, do we know what's the criteria for small, medium, and large business in the United States? Do you know? No, right?
I think it's 100 plus.
Yeah, I might have to Google it.
Yeah, I think it's 100.
surprising.
Yeah. Is it
Yeah.
like what maybe in the 500s or something? For
Well,
men?
I think small business criteria. I think might be 50 employees, 100 employees.
Well, it says a small business is 500 employees or less.
What?
Yeah, so a small business is 500 employees or less. Yeah, that's
That's a bit extreme for me.
yeah.
I thought it was like 50.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's hard to say small business because when you say small business, people think of a little restaurant or a bar or 5 or 6 employees, But yeah.
And it's small. That's just in employees, right? They could be large in revenue, right? Multi-stream.
Oh yeah, that's
But
true.
in Canada, they say that a medium-sized business is 100 to 499.
Okay, so a medium-sized business in Canada is between 100 employees and 499. So 100. So if you have 70 employees, you're still considered a small business. Okay.
So under 100, 100 to 5, and 5 plus.
I think we have maybe two clients that would have over 100 employees, but I would say the rest would be under. Yeah. Oh, it's interesting.
Yeah, no, that is. So has there been anything that you would want to tell the C-level executives maybe watching this right now or watching it down the road? Anything we haven't talked about that is really important for them to understand in web development, in business? Anything else you can touch on?
Yeah, I could
comes
talk
to mind.
about web development. I would say my top 3 just quickly.
Sure.
I don't know how we are in time. What time is it?
It's almost an hour.
Oh, it's almost an hour. Okay. Yeah, I would say top 3 would be. I guess in random order would be make sure that you have ownership and control of your business. Right. That's huge. Make sure whoever you are hiring is actually using their own employees, and not just
Bait and switch.
offshoring and making a margin. Super important. And if I only keep it to 3, I would say don't don't pay for anything in advance. You know, you can pay weekly, you can pay monthly, but you know those companies that are in a hurry to get a deposit, that's a major red flag. Don't get into that. There's no reason.
Yeah.
Just call us.
Well, put your number down below.
Call us now.
That's awesome. So that's all the.
Oh, that's another thing of flexible payment terms we have.
Ooh.
Yes, just to maybe finish on that.
Sure.
We can invoice weekly. We can invoice monthly. The larger the company, the longer they seem to want to pay, which is fine. You know, we can do net 30, net 60. Whatever payment terms we do, we do send weekly time logs that comes directly from our Jira platform. So it's good. You know, you can get an invoice once a month, but every week, so whatever we do from Monday to Friday, you'll get a time log report the following Monday. Just so you can, some people ignore them, but some people look at them. So yeah.
You know, it's been
A lot of
really,
fun.
really awesome working here and seeing, you know, now it's been almost 2 years. What you guys say is what really happens. And it's surprising how what people say and then what they do, right? And I've been at big companies, small companies, and you guys really, what you guys say is the truth. And I see it on Slack because we have a Slack channel. We do shout outs, and the shout outs, the people that are doing amazing. And every day someone's getting shout out because of the exceptional work they did. They went above and beyond what they're paid to do to help the client. And the pictures we get, this is again before COVID when we used to actually meet up and stuff, but the pictures of wearing each other's swag, which is you know, our hoodies, and so it's really cool to be at a company like that and see that that's the kind of impact we have. So
That's a great point, Kyler. And you know, it's kind of the culture is the way we do it is we encourage people to please clients. We don't encourage people to drive up invoices. We don't encourage people to work more hours than is necessary. We encourage people to please our clients, and as corny as that sounds, that's the way that it is, you know. And it's very, very clear. Like when someone does a great job for a client, and the client, you know, shouts them out in a little email, we find out for whatever reason, we shout them out. We make a big deal of it. And as far as you saying that we do what we say in our videos, I've used that saying a couple times in the past month.
yeah,
I said, you know, when there's an issue, I would say, well, you know what? Let's make sure that we do what's right by the client so that we respect what we're saying in our videos. So it kind of keeps us honest.
yeah, and that's why we love making these videos too, right? We can always go back and say, look, this is what we said, this is what we do, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
at least that's
again,
what I look at.
We have no choice now. It's out there.
That's,
Are we done?
I think so. That's all the questions
All
I
right.
have, unless you have any questions for me. But yeah.
No, I think I'm looking forward to hearing about 10,000 followers on LinkedIn.
I'm excited.
When is that going to happen?
I'm excited. I'm pushing. I'm pushing for it.
Yeah? Okay. All
And
right.
now we're going to be
watching.
recycling some old content, showing people.
Oh, yeah, you're going to do that, right?
Yeah, and do it today.
Those old videos from a couple years ago.
The most embarrassing ones I can find of you, Tony.
Yeah, you're not going to have to look far.
Yeah.
I think I had some long hair, too. Oh, my God. Okay, all right.
No, that's it. I have. That's all the questions I had for
Okay.
this.
Well, thank you, everyone, for tuning in. And as Kyler sort of mentioned, he actually takes this hour and he cuts it up. He grabs the cream, makes those little 1 or 2 minute videos, and so you can look for them. And you can also look for him to start posting some of that old content. I mean the content where we're going places.
Oh yeah.
Like going to the airport, going to the gym, going to...
Waking 5 a.m. for 4 a.m. for this guy to go to the gym.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. You got to post that one.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
And the one by the river
Oh yeah.
with the ducks. All right. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. Take care and good luck.